no one loses any information that's being shared here. Okay, there you go. And now I go with the first one. Okay, I am a tech graduate and I have no background in writing. Okay, however, digital marketing, I'm suppose it's all about content writing. Should I do a course on journalism or media, better writing, better career prospects? Akriti, unless you step out of this, I don't have a background in writing. You should step out of this. Once you step out of this, then you will find quite a lot of circles that you can get inside. For example, I'll tell you. Let's say this is you. You have a tech graduate, you're a tech background, correct? If I ask you to write anything on the tech subject, would you do it? Anything about tech. Like, for example, give me more information about VMware. Give me more information about how ERP solutions work. Do you think you can write? I'm waiting for an answer. If I ask you to write something on VMware, or because you're a tech graduate, I am a tech graduate. Yes, need to research a little bit. Everybody has to do a little research, and that's exactly what the steps are. If you were to really document something, here's what most often people do. Even if it's a well experienced, well versed, 20 years experience kind of people in the marketplace, this is exactly what they would do. Content writers, experienced content writers. But I'm not very tech savvy. That's why change in the line of career. No problem at all, ma'am. What we need is a direction, ma'am. What we need to know is that you should be able to find an answer. You don't have to have an answer, you don't have to come experienced on the earth, but you need to know how to quickly capture all of those if we don't have them. For example, content writers are given a subject to write something on education, can be anything on technology. They will quickly go ahead and do the first step, research. Nobody knows everything. Not a single person that I know on the earth knows everything. So, they will do the research. They will get a handful of blogs and directories or links. So, here's blogs, links. They will start reading those. Now, once they start reading, they will start looking at a context. A context is something that you revolve around, like in a story, an environment. So you start picking up a story and align the entire context. You start creating a context for the product or an industry research that you're trying to establish. So once you get that and a little raw material using the blogs and links, you will easily formulate. Let's say for the first time, it'll take 3 hours, 4 hours before you crack up on an idea or context, but over a period of time the timeline will come slower, like in reduce the timeline from 3 4 hours to about 30 minutes to 1 hour or maybe 2 hours. It gradually will slowly reduce the number of hours you're taking to capture on an idea. Once this idea is developed, they start drafting, and then they tweak it. Now, when they're tweaking it, they're trying to check the grammar, spelling errors, and also trying to do after they wrote. While you're penning down, you'll come upon or stumble upon a particular word or a particular, let's say, a scenario which is not well explained in the technology world. If that is what it is, then you'll have to quickly remove them or make sure that it's easy for people to find reference to, something like that. So the tweaking will be done, and then the draft will be sent to the client. The first draft will be evaluated by the client, and client will quickly suggest a few changes. And after the changes come in, they tweak again, shoot, finally upload, fire. Now, where is it taking time? It's actually here when they're doing the research, when they're starting through the blogs and trying to find out. So if you give me a subject, if you tell me saying, okay, what's the difficult thing that I can't? Biology, like what Shaila says. Shaila keeps talking about some medical science. some R&D they do. Yeah. So what's that called as? Any anyone who does a research on medical science, what's that called as? It's not FDA approved as yet. Okay, clinical trial. So if you ask me to read or write something about clinical trial, I have no experience whatsoever. So I will have to do a quick research to find out some blogs and links on clinical trial, get the basics of it, or I can stick to something that I already know, something that I already am experienced with. See, this is I am in the tech background. To quickly understand the tech world is very easy for me compared to the rest of the gang. So I will pick on something that is easy for me, which I've spent a lot of time doing, and then I can go ahead and develop this. So any skill, for that matter, can be developed. But do I have to join a course to get that? Well, no, not really. Again, depends again on how you've been training your mind so far. If you personally ask me as to would you go ahead and join a course, Nityanand, if you were to really, or Neil, if somebody asks you to write something and I see a lot of money around it, because end of the day my carrot is money, right? It's not power. I don't know what to do with the power. It's according to the movie called Lucy, human beings wake up for two reasons. One is the P, which is power P, and the other P is for profit. And I'm the guy who wakes up for a profit because that's where my eyes are. So if you ask me, saying if you were to really do that writing and you were to make that profit a lot more compared to what you are right now, collecting or gathering, well, I think I might look into it. But what is the training program doing? Training program will give you exposures on some write up. Maybe they will refer to some books. They will give you a structure on how you have to formulate your writing, and then the practice and all the other activities are left back again on us. So it's just a book. You just go ahead and pick up some basic writing books. Pick up in terms of advertising. This is tested advertising. Tested advertising. I think there must be a title here. Tested advertising methods. Okay, so that's the gentleman there, the John. Yeah, this book. Pick this book up. There's proven methods on how people wrote their direct mailers. The direct mailers, like in the literal physical copy of a mailer, it was an email marketing. But the direct mailer guys have gone ahead and compiled this entire book. And if you just pick up this book, you will get a framework on how advertisers think when they're writing. Pick up that book and start practicing this for the next 3 months, and see by default your writing skills will improve. And also talk to some of these guys. Conversational hypnosis. Conversational hypnosis. There are plenty of people. If you were to really do a course, I think you should do a course on communication, not the mass communication and blah blah blah. I would suggest that you go ahead and look at the framework on how people interpret language, how people look at words. If that's what you're going to do, I think then it's worth the time spent. Take a look at conversational hypnosis. Take a look at yeah, he hypnosis, conversational hypnosis, NLP. Now, these are the terms that you may want to really spend your time and money on, and not anything else. But once you get this in, it's again practice. I have quite a lot of mentors here. I look into audiobooks. I don't have time to read them because it's too very heavy technical books for me in terms of understanding mind. And if I really complete that book, I would be in a clinic, right? Either as a counselor or something, right? Like a doctor. I can't really keep my hands quiet without touching the computer. Hence, those are only audiobooks that I keep plugging in on and off. And there are a few mentors who actually teach me on how that is. What was the previous book? Tested advertising. Tested advertising. Pick up and make this as a mandate read, ma'am, for the next 3 months, and see by default, if you don't write, call me. That's exactly what you should do. So career prospects and all that is very important. Well, you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. What are you going to do after the next 3 months after your course? I think the course is going to take 6 months for you. So I do not know, you might be on the first month here, or maybe this is your third month, and there's few other modules that you need to complete. Here, the plan is on my calendar here, it would say that 6 months I will put my head down and learn pretty much everything that is taught in the class. And after the sixth month, well, they're going to give you practical activities to follow, like assignments that you'll have to complete. Go ahead and completely involve yourself in getting the assignment done. Don't deviate your attention. That's like being in this hour and not the future hour, or not the hour that passed by. Don't stay there, stay in the now. Stay in the now, stay now, and take a look at what is being done. So what are you sitting on in your hands right now? So the assignment is pending. Let's put our efforts to learn that assignment. How do we do that assignment practically? Get involved, and I'm sure you should be fine. After you complete the course, your 6 months plan should come in quickly. What are you going to do in the next 6 months after your course completion? Well, sitting down quietly, or maybe sitting down with your books and your certificate wouldn't help. You get a job. If you haven't really done anything, get a job in and around digital environment. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to start something on your own, go into freelancing portals, freelance.com. What's that called? Work per hour. No, people. Okay, I will go to Google. People per hour. Yeah, fever.com, yeah, absolutely. Unilad.com. It goes on. People per hour is a freelancing portal. Pick up this people per hour and go back and find related portal. Pick up related portals on all the others: freelanceguru.com, freelancer.com, and it goes on. There's not one or two, but there's quite a number that you can really follow up on. Try and create a free account there. You don't have to really get onto a paid account as yet. Get into that free account and see what kind of projects that people upload. For example, let's say Greg and company decides to actually outsource the entire SEO to somebody else. So they probably are going to go back and hand out a particular objective, what they want to accomplish on the website in the next few months to come, and they want to seek an expertise from any individual who can actually confidently pick up the website and start working around it. Now, that type of project, what your work would be to go back and look at the request and see out of your certification program that you've done, how much of it can be fulfilled. Now, you might say, well, I couldn't really understood the project. I couldn't really understand the project. That's where you need a little help. Like you need a mentor. Now, let's say SEO was taught by somebody, and those people will definitely keep a bandwidth for about a month's time or maybe 3 months' time. Pick up that question and shoot out that question to your trainer and ask him, saying, if this is the project I have to really go ahead and service, what do you think I would need? And they will list down the list of things that you need to do. Ma'am, good evening. Thank you so much for everything. How are you doing? Uh, Anshul, good evening. Amandeep, good evening. Did I miss anybody? Fantastic. Thank you very much. So try and get those protocols or the structure that you need to really get your hands on, and then fill in the gaps as and when you get a project, as in when you look at the requirement, when you read the requirement. Go ahead, fill those gaps in for the next 3 or 4 months to come. By default, whenever you look at a query, you will know whether you can do it alone or you need a team. So that's exactly what your plan should be, if you ask me personally, rather than joining and getting into another course. Hope it makes sense. Let me know if it did. 12 more minutes before we go live. Okay, I got tense because I was browsing through some of the jobs in inbound marketing, and they asked me for a degree in journalism and marketing. See, this is exactly what happens when you're picking up an inbound marketing. What is inbound marketing? You're picking up a wrong type of company, I should say, right? In the beginning, don't pick up something that is skill based. Immediately, one focus skill. Inbound marketing is you writing content, which is a C3 or three C's I follow if it's inbound marketing. Three C's: content, which is you got to create the content. Now that's one of the reasons why they're saying creating content is not everybody's what do you call piece of cake. Not everybody can quickly pick up a pen and start talking like Shakespeare. It can't. You got to really gain that experience. You got to really work around those content writing, and only then you can come in. Cup of tea as well, yeah, in India. So if it's cup of tea, it is not everybody's cup of tea. So what we need to do is to how many years of experience or how many years of exposure we've had around creating content. You will quickly see your mind saying none. Believe that particular statistics and go with it, because it's actually honestly telling you, saying that I have no exposure. You have not led me into an environment where people write content, discuss content, talk ideas, to develop content. You haven't really exposed yourself. So you put a plan saying I will now. That's what has happened with me as well, yeah. So your mind will say I'm not a great content creator, but because you haven't given your exposure. Exposure can come in with a book. Exposure can come in with when you're talking to somebody. Exposure can come in as an internship that you pick up from a company which is only developing content. So pick up that and give exposure. I will give exposure in the next 3 months. Okay, so that's your plan, ma'am. Good evening, how are you doing? So that should be your plan in terms of creating. The other C is circulating, which is you should know how to actually post this on a blog page. You should know how to pick up directory sites and also push your content there so that people find your blog article. You should also do that in terms of consistency. So you can't say one article one time and the next year is when you'll come up with another book. It works very well if you're writing a novel. It works very well if you're doing a little more research and then your novel is actually selling at $1 million price. Ankit, good evening. And Archana, good evening. Did I miss anybody? Just know I said good evening. Thank you so much for coming in early. Yeah. Another 9 minutes before we go live. Circulating is important, and consistency of writing that content is very important. And consistency can't be 1 year gap, or it can't be like a novel writer. You got to have that instantaneously. So let's say a weekly article. Another way to look at content creators, if on the pro, what is that called, HubSpot. Yeah, try and take a look at these guys and see how they come up with the idea. Just simple ideas that they can really look at, and they will develop that into a article, a useful article that can stay there for the next let's say 6 to 1 year. People will find it very important to read. Look at this 9 sales template, that inspires urgency in your prospects. Now I think this is a well researched article, or the headline, but you will get there over a period of time. But if you were to click on this and go ahead and take a look at it, you will know how it is. I'm doing inbound marketing course from HubSpot. They're fantastic. Fantastic. Those guys will definitely teach you a lot of things, but what they don't teach you is how to develop a content. They will quickly go back and pull you those three C's or three P's or some P's they will come up with, because end of the day you'll have to be unique in when you're selling. So they will go ahead and give you all that piece, and once you get that framework, you will know what is required. You got to be a content creator, and the job that you're finding here at this place is definitely not the right one at this point of time. Maybe 1 year later down the line, I think this will be a cakewalk for you. You can just go ahead and apply and pass the exams there, no matter how many tests or how many what do you call yeah, types of evaluation processes they have. You will bypass all of them. But for now I think it'll be a failure, so don't look at all of those immediately. Maybe give it some time, give it some practice, and then go ahead and see those. And HubSpot, which is a free course, I think, inbound marketing. I don't know if you're doing a certified. It's a free one. Okay, good. But that's a very what do you call minimal content that is being shared on a free site. There is a certified program as well from a paid version of it. It's very basic, correct. An advanced level is a paid version, and I think that's something that you may want to aim at a later point of time. Now your immediate eye must be that you paid some money and the investment is already there. Try and get that back in the next 1 year to come. Don't beat yourself by saying 1 month. You give it a 1 year period. Your money should come back, and that's what you should really aim at. It can be either by a job, or you can talk to a client and get your job done, or get your money back. But end of the day, your goal must be, let's get that back in the next 12 months to come. And some people can crack it in about 6 months. I've seen those people do that. Let's say, for example, Archana, she had sent me an email, and I think she also sent me in the last one, which said, I have a few questions that needs to be addressed. This is Archana for you. She's been working around her content, and she says that's okay. Now that's for me. Okay, review the class, and we will discuss this. There's quite a lot of experiences that I've gained here. I'm going to actually ask you those questions. So I'm ready to take the questions. Archana, shoot that away. Fortunately, she has a company. She's a founder of this particular company, I guess. Right? That's what the LinkedIn profile read. Now, keeping in mind that she's trying to look at all the digital activities and then also develop the company currently, there is no ROI point of view here, but it's about how do we develop our own company. So is Greg. So is Brijesh. Brijesh is eagerly waiting. Brijesh is eagerly waiting today because he's a lead generation is a trouble there. So he's trying to find out how to get the databases. So is Alagu. Alagu actually has a laboratory, and I think he will also want to look at other companies that he wants to reach out to. And I am not really familiar with the others. I'm sure they are also working on a company, or maybe they're inside a company and then they want to try and develop their activities there. Nisha, good evening. Sai, good evening. No, sir, them not founder for any company. Oh, okay. So you're not the founder. Okay. You'll be very soon, ma'am. Don't worry. So if it's coming, it's coming. Okay, shoot the question off, ma'am. I think I have another 4 minutes. Maybe I can capture them and keep it here and then come back later and review them. I was unable to import the list for some column. That's simple trouble. Why? Because MailChimp understands the system very differently. So let's quickly jump in. I think we have another 4 minutes. Let's use the 4 minutes. I'm going to sign in here. Ma'am, anytime, and I'm all the time available. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You have my email ID, my phone number. Whenever you're in trouble and you think I can help you or I can be of some help, don't hesitate to call. Just call. I have the tax ID, but does it need it now? Come on. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Anytime, ma'am. Okay, so I'm going to build a list here. So I'm going to create a list. Create this list now, and I'm going to label this as okay, Archana's list. Default email ID would be mine. This is just a list name. So lead sourcing is my breadwinning thing. What is that called? The email ID. So I'm going to refrain from using those. Nithi. Okay, so this is hey, we are just testing. Okay, so the entire address comes in. That's the same protocol. I'm sure you're well aware of that. Okay, now it says import your list. So, okay, now here I need to have my list. So let's go get some list here. Okay, it's number of fields, right? So, okay, all right. I think it's a CSV file. It has multiple fields around it. I'm going to try and import this and see how that works out. Let's open this for visual. 2 more minutes before the day starts. This is a gold miners list worldwide. Anyone who's in gold mining industry, the company wanted that particular address. Okay, so this is, there's only two. So there's email field and then there is company field. Both the fields I need to import them. So I'm going to go ahead and close this file because I haven't made any changes here. It's a CSV file. How do you save? When you're saving the file on Excel, choose the extension as CSV. That's all you need to do. You have got a sample mailer done. I haven't done it. I haven't done it. Do you want me to do that? I saw one here. This is what it was. It sounded good to me. But what happens when you're breaking up pictures, it's always important to add some border there so that it doesn't really look like something is missing. You can by the look of it you will see that, yeah. So just try and drop a border there so it'll look a little different. I mean, just add border and see how the look and feel is definitely, yeah. So that's something that I see, and apart from that I don't see any other challenge in here. I see the call to action very clear and straightforward. Either call the number or move to the website to see this, and the number is very vivid, it's clear, and I'm sure it's on the mobile sheet as well, mobile phones and mobile devices. And I see all of the other things done. This is regarding in case if you don't wish to, so this is done well as well. This is a free account. Any email that you're sending out through a free account will automatically display the signature. There's no way to cut this off unless and until we convert the account to a paid account. So those are the only ones. I haven't really made a template. I'm sorry. I'm going to show you how to import the list, and in case if there's any challenges, how do we sort them out. So I'm saying a CSV file is what I'm trying to import. I have I have linked the website also. Yes, ma'am. I saw that. I saw that. CSV file. Click next. This is MailChimp. All of you who's joining in, please come. We're trying to upload a list, and we want to find out if MailChimp actually has any trouble in identifying the number of columns that we bring in. So it says browse a file where you have the file stored. I'm going to go to the same file that we just picked up. Okay, gold miners. That's the list. This is very important and a very crucial stuff that you need to click on. If you don't click on, that's when the account gets deactivated, so be very careful about this particular field. Without having clicked on this, don't ever move into the other elements. Now, I have not told the MailChimp platform saying that I have 2 fields or 3 fields. I haven't really given any suggestions as such. But what it does, it quickly runs through and finds out how many columns are there to import. And I am offered an option here to select the ones that I want to keep and ignore the ones that I can, quickly don't want to import them. So this is my company name. I don't see company here. So click on the new column and call this as company and click the button save. Now MailChimp understands that this column is a vital column that needs to be imported within the platform. Now it says, what is this field? Would you like to skip this or would you like to save this? Well, this is email addresses. So say that it's an email address and click the button save. Now it says that 2 columns have been clicked and I'm going to import them. It will again give you a confirmation saying that these are the 2 columns that you're importing. Now, this is where you check to see if the file that you have is in sync with your MailChimp account. If it is not in sync, you don't have to really click this import button, but you can make out right here. This field is going to be matching into the email field, and this one is going to be the company field. Now, when does a mismatch happen? A mismatch will happen when your Excel file is not formatted well. For example, let's say there are additional characters here which is differentiating the columns. There is no easier way to find out the columns there. Okay, hold on, opening up. Okay, I'm opening up the same gold miners list. The first column here has no header, no nothing, no information whatsoever. It just starts with the company name. But if you had decorated that a little bit and done the following: company. email ID. This is good because it's still recognizable. It will say that there is something called as company. Would you like to align this to company? Would you like to align this to email ID? Options will be there. But imagine for a moment if I were to really merge both the fields here and say that this is company column. Now here, MailChimp will never be able to understand what this is because there's two fields merged together or the characters are not matching with each other. At that point of time, it will throw up an error. And the error will be that it doesn't identify how many columns are there. And if you don't see them, fix the Excel file. Archana, give me a heads up if this is clear on the importing part of it. It can be the syntax errors. Absolutely. Absolutely. So here I'm going to jump out of this because I'm not going to import now. If I do, it is going to quickly ask me for more money because I'm getting adding in more data. It told me that I can only bring in another 38, and if I go beyond 38, my card will be what do you call swiped for extra number. I'm going to delete this list out of here unless you have another question related to the same list. Okay, later I did copy and paste. That's the most simplest way, right? But don't give up on a particular error when the platform is not accepting. The platform will throw up an error. You need to find out how and why only when you have time. When you're in a hurry, you can go ahead and copy and paste it, finish the job, and then when you later get some time, please go back and revisit the error that you got in. Don't just let it go. If you let it go, your mind will quickly capture that particular activity of yours and says anything that is tough, let's go. Let's skip that. Let's not revisit that again. Don't do that. As a professional, I think you should go back and revisit every little problem, any problem for that matter. Problems that you know, problems that you don't know, please go back and review them. You should be fine. Today is your day on fourth module, which means you are likely to take a look at how we use Google better for data harvesting. Now before we go there, as usual, like a regular practice, I would have to go back and take a look at the 3 modules that we completed. Just the headlines. I'm not going to go in depth. I just need the headers, and if you give me the headers as quickly as possible, by 8:15 I think we should get going with the fourth module, because that's the time a lot of people who are getting from office to home or home to office, either ways, they will come late. Okay, so let's go take a look at that piece. On the first module, we saw different phases. How many phases did we see? Like in the pH phases, 3 phases. Fantastic. Where does the COP come in? Which phase does the COP come in? Greg, sir. First step, phase 1, preparation. Vehicle gets prepared, and then you load the content and the list onto an email service provider and click the campaign send. And when you send the campaign, evaluation starts. Those COPs come in. COP number 1, COP number 2 comes in. Okay, Bermuda Triangle, very nice. Amandeep, remember that. I think that's where. In transit, somewhere we have no visibility on. Our emails gets classified as spam, gets lost sometimes. We have no track of it, and all the others, right? So Bermuda Triangle, when it's in transit, it just goes to one particular juncture, and from there on, we don't know what is happening. But well, you know already what is happening. Cop number 1 has a few checklists. What is he interested in? The cop number 1. DKIM is an authenticator. Thank you very much for remembering the label there. Amandeep, fantastic. SPF compliance, authentication, super, good job. Good job. He is looking for authentication. And inside the authentication, like Amandeep and Archana and quite a lot of others said, DKIM, which is a digital signature, SPF, which is again a digital signature, very, very crucial for every email that's going out. Now, there can't be a leeway on certain IDs or certain company names. There is nothing as such. If there is a communication that you'll have to do, it has to be with the digital signature. That's the mandate. And the signatures are not sealed out. Like it doesn't say that it's the end of the story. It says that the story is going to continue, because in 2017, in the mid of 2017 or 2018, there would be an upgrade. Instead of the DKIM, they might ask you something else, DMARC. The DMARC and DKIM are both on the same signature part. It's like your banking portal. Remember the banking portal. The banking portal usually gives you a username and password to log on to your net banking. But when you're doing a transaction, they quickly give you the OPT, the one time password. Very important again, OTP. Yeah, they give you the one time password. That's another level of, or the second level or the third level of verification to make sure that the user or the owner is not compromised. That's exactly what these guys are doing in the backend to find out and filter out all the spammers. So there might be an upgrade which might come in. Keep your blogs or wherever we are reading out information from. Keep a close watch on that. And once changes come in, we definitely will write a YouTube video, or we will write a blog, or we will upload a video there. You will come and take a look at how that setup is done, or you have my email ID. Just write to us and we will quickly sync up and see how that changes can be adopted onto your domain as well. Okay, so that's option open. Loop is not closed. Nobody's sealing off saying 2007. That's it. Full stop. Bad idea. No, there's three dots. Continuity. We don't know what's likely to happen. Keep a close watch on the industry and have yourself upgraded. We move to the second cop. He had a list. He had a big list. He's a bookkeeper. I like the word. He's a bookkeeper. He's a guy who evaluates the reputation. Thank you very much. Right? Keeps a history, or he has a database. Right? Whatever you like to call him. That's good note keeping, I must say. Amandeep, you're a good note keeper. Very nice. Yeah, content, reputation, volume, percentage of spam, blacklisting, all of this is being evaluated thoroughly. You also have what you call tools that you have access to, that you can do your scrutiny in the backend before you execute the campaigns out. Very, very important again. It can either be a paid tool from your email service provider, or it can be an unpaid tool or a free tool, an open source tool that you can check your email before you send the campaigns out. All of those were discussed on the second module, and there were quite a lot of links that was passed on to you. Please keep a close watch on those links, store them somewhere. See, today you're finding a job and the requirement is to write content. You will pick up. Trust me, if you were to really challenge yourself and you want to put yourself into a different environment, you might give it a shot and say, okay, chalo yaar, we'll go make an attempt. Let's say in Fluke, we might get past. You got a job as a content writer. At that point of time, your email skills are not going to come into effect. But let's say after 6 months down the line, you feel that the content writing is getting saturated. You want to move writing content on not for SEO articles, but you want to move on email articles. If you were to really draft an email, at that point of time, you would notice the technical guys will come back and tell you, saying that the words that you're using on your letter is being filtered out on spam filters. You know the game already. So just go back to your hard drive, wherever you stored all your information about content and evaluation. Run through it. You will have a few links that comes by. Pick up those links. Check your content before you pass it to your technical person. Next time he comes and gives you a candy or maybe a chocolate and says, job well done. Our scrutiny failed to see any spam filtered words within when you write content. Great job, you're a star performer now. And that's exactly how your note keeping will definitely help you future as well. The COP 2 did that evaluation. On the third module, we looked at MailChimp functionality. MailChimp is a service provider who allows you to send emails in bulk. Very important to know. Yes. And when you send out an email from MailChimp, most often, this email, I said it's not a promotion. Most often, it will reach with the tag saying promotional email. The evaluation is quite a lot. Evaluation could be content, evaluation could be my behavior, evaluation could be quite a lot in terms of how I've treated this particular email and the sender. Based on my behavior assessment, Google has decided to call this email as a promotional email. There's one more evaluation that's happening in the backend, and that is to find out who you're sending emails from. I repeat myself again. Who are you sending your emails from? It can be MailChimp, it can be Aweber, it can be quite a lot of other service providers. And all those service providers have been in the industry for quite some time. Now, when I say quite some time, 10 years down the line. So the cop has already identified all the IP addresses, the vehicles that these guys are going to be using to commute those emails. So when you're using a MailChimp account, by default, the cop knows that it's a carrier which carries bulk load messages, and it'll quickly label it as a possible promotional email there. For further reference on promotional, we have a PhD person who's done PhD on that. I think Priyanka is the person here. Is she around? If she is, good evening, ma'am. Rogelina, good evening. Sudipta, good evening. Umesh, evening. Mahudas, good evening. Boski, good evening. Did I miss anybody? Just know I said good evening. Thank you very much. So Priyanka has done PhD on promotional folders. Even during her assessment, when we were trying to do a test with the chip PC, her assignment was to quickly go back and say that it's promotional folder. Why? Because study is around that, and I think you should also get in touch. All of you should share your numbers, stay on a WhatsApp group, stay connected, call it a batch. What is this? This is June, March. June. Why June is coming to my mind is because I met the auditor. Taxation is coming, so we're getting prepared. June and July we'll have to start filing up, filing our papers, and by 31st of March we'll have to file the sales tax, service tax. Quite a lot of things that's going around in the back end. Okay, so if you take a look at the March batch, you open up a group there and stay connected with each other. You'll never know who you need. I have filed it. Oh, fantastic! We are the last guys. Mr. Modi has to knock twice with a reminder. That's when we go. Okay, so with that, I think you know how the working, experience on Mailchimp will look like. The look and feel is the same on Aweber. The look and feel is same on Mailjet or Mad Mimi. It's all the same there, but the interfaces might look a little different. On the left hand side, they might have certain add-ons like the square boxes or links that you can add up. Instead of on the right hand side, Mailchimp is on the right hand side. Aweber might choose to keep it on the left hand side. That's all will be the changes. The UI, the user interface, the user experience will be different, but end of the day, the brain is the same. So you need to look for a list upload. There must be an option on the list upload. You got to create a content. When you're creating a template, we click on the create template, and there must be an option for you to quickly add pictures or text and then send out the email. That's by default on all platforms. That's the exposure we got on the third module. Okay, let's jump into the fourth module. Like I said earlier, we are going to look into the fourth module in two halves. The first half, we will look at bulk mailing, bulk extraction. I call it extraction or harvesting, but you should refrain using harvesting or extraction or bulk kind of words when you're with a client. Talk the words that the clients like. These are some of the words that they already have it on the hit list, saying that my email will be spammed. There was an article that I read from SendGrid and various other domain service providers, and all of them said if I buy list or extract list from Google, they would be, it would be caught on spam filters, and my domain will be lost. Something like that. They have a story there. Everybody has a story. The story could be false, the story could be true. It's all about realization. When one realizes that the story is not really holding effective, at that point of time, they'll quickly have to change the story and move on. So people hold a story around harvesting. You may want to play by the story there with them until you really know that the person has realized that harvesting is a process of how we gather email addresses, and it's got nothing to do with the validity of email. It's just a process. But you and I have to use the same terminology because you need to know how do we harvest them. And after harvesting, what are the processes that is involved to validate the database? We'll check that out. And then we will come on Thursday and take a look at one-to-one extraction. This is 1 to 1. That's like one single person. We look at a company and we go hunting that particular person's email ID using Google. Simple searches that are already available. They call it black belt Boolean searches, and quite a lot of other certifications that are around in the US and UK, not in India. Here, I think there is very little awareness on what can be done using a Google search. We will give you exposure so that you stay in touch with the marketplace and also tell them saying what you can do for their business. Okay, come, let's go. Bulk extraction. Since Google is the guy, is it 9:50, 8:15? Okay, it is. It's got some color. I don't know if we can really align this as Google. Would you know this is Google? Okay, so I better get a Google picture. Ow, wrong hit. Okay, I get this. Google it is. Now, this guy claims that he has access to everything. I have everything. How true it is, we don't know. But it definitely says, I have everything. Wikipedia, on the other side, says, I know everything, which actually has beaten up all the Encarta encyclopedias and various other books sold in the libraries. It's not now. Wikipedia knowledge, Google, pretty much anything you need, whatever you need. Think about a subject and you search on Google, you will find 100,000 references for that particular term you're searching for. It's not one person that you're reading from, but it could be quite a lot of experienced people, inexperienced people, one-time journalist, or it can be somebody else. Because everybody with a blog is a walking, talking journalist. Okay, good. So in that case, they're saying I have everything. Where do you think they're gathering all the information from? Where do you think Google is actually getting all that info from? I mean, no one can say that I have everything from us, right? I'm not sure. That's a question to actually reflect on. Sharing knowledge. Who is sharing with who? With whom? For example, I am looking for pen drives. I go on Google and I type pen drives and I get some information. It's UGC. Fantastic. User generated content. Very good, Priyanka. Now I like the one without the question mark. This is cool. It is the internet, but internet is equal to Google. Now that's what most of them say. But my question is, where is Google getting that info from? Sudipta, I hope you're getting the point. Web space, fantastic. I need more. You might want to change that to websites. It's not the web space. They're not, space is space. Website we buy, space we buy, and we store something there, and that's websites. And they might gather that information from the websites. Dhanashree says from the subscribers, right? It could be from the websites too. Fantastic. I was thinking, and she already thought through that. Hold a second. I have a few more here. Hello, sir. Sorry for being no Dhruv. We good time. We just started. We know we're starting late. 8:15. One query: activities on our queries on activities on the internet, and Google understands that and quickly tries to find out what are the sources that it can get that information from. Fantastic. Gmail IDs. Oh, wow, this is cool, right? So what happens is Google is not got just one sources where it's going to read through websites, but it also has Gmail itself. Consider that for a moment. Consider that for a moment. You all have Gmail IDs, and on Gmail ID, we've been communicating quite a lot of information, air tickets and flight tickets, and anything for that matter, shopping list, and some information from our company. We've been sending out PPTs, and all those words are definitely found there. Google is doing the research. It's not misusing it, it's definitely using it to their own good to advertise. So, if you're writing something about travel, and you're looking for some location specific, if you're typing that to your friend, Google will realize that that's what you're typing in, and the next thing that you see is ads popping up right there on your email saying that here's a place that you can here's an app that you can download to find locations or space or hotel bookings or anything for that matter. That's how Google is using it. Must watch for all of us. Terms and condition applies. Okay, I have already referred this movie, haven't I? um, I I have Yeah, yes, sir. Try it. It's a important movie, sir. It's a mandate watch. You watch it today, you watch it, 1 year later, but definitely it is after your reference only. Okay, fantastic. It's a great watch to try and see how Google gathers info and how Facebook gathers info, eBay, and quite a lot of other multinational companies, how they're capturing information, and that's why they call it data-driven marketing. Data-driven marketing. So there's no clouded information on just shoot in the dark. It's not. So what is about third-party service providers? Do we pick up data from Google? Oh yeah, we are actually picking up Google databases. We need to see the logical part of it, and that's what we're seeing now. True. In a few seconds, I think you will know the outcome of this. Gathering info and how they treat it, indexing it. It's all about the data-driven these days. Absolutely. But this takes a lot of efforts. It's not like you can do data-driven marketing. That will be a myth, truth or friction, right? That'll be a fiction. If you were to really say, I'm going to start data driven marketing, bad idea. It takes years together to understand what the customer is really looking for and accordingly pitch the service. Like, for example, Amazon has been doing it. Amazon has been doing it ever since, okay, even before Google resurrected. I repeat myself again, Amazon had the algorithms even before Google came into existence. That means Google looked at Amazon and said, if Amazon has that algorithm to find out what other people are doing on the web, why shouldn't we use that to portray information? That's how Google came in. Please go back to the history of digital, and then you will notice who came in first. These are the guys who are in the back end, and now, even now, today, those are the ones who actually are having greater algorithms to run in the back end to find out what's happening on a web portal. And that's a very important tool that they use to find out what's interesting customers. Okay, what is the interest? Technology, non-technology, fashion. They can find out by the choices you make, by the products you cart, and there's quite a lot of complex algorithm that goes in. The whole story is in the book, the Everything Store. Oh, okay, that's a nice title. Okay, I am going to um, reflect on this a little later, but thank you for giving us a book. Thank you. That wasn't on my chart. That book is not on my chart. I haven't heard about it either. Okay, good. So please go ahead and take a look at it, and I think you will get a fair idea on how these algorithms work. To generally understand what is Google doing, Google is talking to your websites and anything that's happening on the W3 network. So if you have a www and you're talking to Google, www.gmail.com, www.facebook.com, www.linkedin.com, www.yourwebsite.com. If there is information on the W3 network, Google has it. And how does Google make it? How does Google manages to get that? Ankit says that they are indexing all of that, and they gather them by using bots. I don't see anyone else making that depiction, or at least the word there, term called bots. Ankit is here. So in case if somebody has done it, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Web crawlers. Thank you very much. That's another alternate word for your crawlers. So let's see this. That's indexing and web bots, like in the robots. Okay, so this is web crawler. That's another word they call it, which is written on Python. Okay, fantastic. So I like this. Okay, Ankit, I'm already in love with you. Good job. Good job. The more you research, instead of becoming a content writer, if you give me two things together and make a choice saying Python developer Nityanand or content writer, what do you think you want to become? I will quickly jump in and pick up this Python. This Python is fantastic. Python, I don't know how you pronounce it, but in me, I think I would say Python, right? Python is a phenomenal coding scripting language that one should learn if you were to really master the art of app development, web crawling. You can do wonders with Python. Google itself is based out of Python. Yeah, the most lightweight coding that can be found in the world today. Okay, good. Servers, help crawlers, fantastic. Fantastic. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a spider here, and this spider comes in from Minority Report. I'm hoping that you must have seen this movie already, but I like the spider for one specific reason. See this? It's a bot that can actually lift the tile. That's why I like it. A bot is a bot. It can have sensors. It can go find out whatever it wants to. But can it lift and also find? Well, please watch this movie, and I'm sure you'll get a fair idea on how this is. Absolutely. It's called Minority Report. So let's go and quickly understand how Google is optimizing all of that. So, like we said, Google is not having a development team or a content writers all world over. What they have is robots and crawlers. The crawlers will go sniff the websites, the W3 network, and they pick up everything that's on the web. So, if it's found on the W3 network, Google says, I have it, and they gather this through the robots or the bots or the crawlers or the spiders. There are plenty of terms on how you address the spider, but end of the day, there's only one job it does: go find a specific data for me, and it runs and picks it up. In this case, in the movie, I think it's searching for Tom Cruise, and it never leaves one place. But at a particular point, Tom Cruise has to get away from the spiders without being noticed. What does he do? Watch the movie. But for now, let's see if this is what Google is doing. And I have a website which is my banking web portal, HDFC Bank, and pretty much all the banks, all the government banks too, are being asked to move to digital by the government. I'm sure you must have read that article. Before the 31st of March, pretty much anyone and every bank has to be on the net banking. So, on this website of mine, I'm on the web and I have customers, and the customers have to really use their username and password to log on and check their bank statement or do some banking online, net banking. So this is my web pages. Sorry. Okay. Is there anything? Absolutely nothing. All right. Good. Coming there. Coming there. Okay. Here are my pages on the website. These are all the pages that I have on the hdfcbank.com. Imagine for a moment it's like 5,000 odd website, or 5,000 or 10,000 odd pages on the website, and now Google quickly sends out crawlers and picks up everything: words, links, videos, and blog. The Word document, PDF document, anything that's stored on the website. According to the theory, it says that we have it. So they are quickly crawling. How true is this statement? How true is this statement? If Google can crawl all of that information, that means all our banking details are already with Google. Agree, disagree? Not true. Fantastic. Now justify that, please. Disagree. Good job. Good job. Good job. Fantastic. Now give me clarity, please. We can block the pages. Wow. Okay. There is a way by which you can restrict the crawlers from crawling certain things. Wow. Cool. And what is that? Okay. Perfect. Job well done. Job well done. Personal details, app securities, and password that can be protected. Thank you very much, Sudipta. Tier 1 encryption for data. Thank you very much, Drew. A lot more technical in terms of how this is done. But I want to simply focus on one little document, which is called the robot.txt file. Ankit says it. Me and Rosalina from same class. Okay, good. Right. So robot.txt files, Ankit as well. Get Ankit as well. Okay, so robot.txt file is like an instruction file specifically made for the robots, for the bots. a specific set of instruction laid out only to this particular crawler, because the crawler needs direction. It's a software, and somebody has to really direct it, saying this is where you need to go, this is where you should avoid going. And if we don't tell that to the bot, the chances are very high that it might think that it's an open document, and probably quickly send that information back to Google. Like, for example, no instruction file, picks up everything and pushes it, sends it back to Google. If there is an instruction file, the robot will come take a look at the set of instructions that is laid out. And in the instruction file, which is the robot.txt file, one can lay out certain instructions. For example, pages 1 to 100 allow crawling. Pages 101 to 10,000 disallow crawling. Disallow crawling. That's exactly how the instruction says. So, which means not everything that is found on the W3 network is possibly in the hands of Google, because Google will also go through the privacy policy, which is set by the developer of the website. So the website developer can quickly restrict it, saying, hey robot, don't you just scroll here. I want you to go ahead and take a look at the file instruction, and then accordingly crawl the pages that are relevant and not the ones that you're not supposed to be touching. And if it accidentally does, that means it's breaking the rule, and anyone can sue Google. So far, not a single mistake has the robot made. Not a single mistake that I am aware of. Maybe you must have read somewhere. If there is any references, do let me know. But from my end, I don't see the crawler making a mistake. It quickly understands that the instruction file, and accordingly picks it up. Now I'm going to go do a layman search. I go to Google and I search for email trainers in Bangalore. Quickly brings up all the references made to that particular keyword, long tail keyword, email trainers in Bangalore, which is location specific again. When I search for that, it quickly brings up all the references made for that particular keyword. I see a LinkedIn document. I see a LinkedIn profile of an individual called Nityanand Ramakrishna. I also see quite a lot of other websites which are being optimized for that keyword. Pretty much all the keyword websites are coming up, which means two references, which is on the WW3 network, which is one, a social media portal, a social networking site, plus your own domain, which is your own property websites, your own website. If you optimize them, the chances are very high that it might quickly run through the keywords and find out the references. It has an evaluation process there as well. How many times searched, how many times people come back to the same search again for the same keyword. And if they don't find any references here, they go back and type this again. Again, they don't find any references. That will be a remark for not finding content relevant. So Google will work around that optimization day in and day out. E is Nithi, Ankit must be on the top. Gunjan, thank you very much for the advertisement. I stopped that. Okay, yes, come. Social networking sites and there's websites. Either one of those will show up. Fortunately for all of us, LI showed up, which is LinkedIn. If LinkedIn showed up, you know what we're talking about? We're talking about uh, how many users on LinkedIn? 450 million members. Well, let's say fake profiles cut 50% off. 50% of the profiles which are there, fake profiles, one single page developed, and the person chose not to really come back to that particular profile again. Oh, it could be plenty. Let's say 75% of that we pull it off. We still have quite a lot of number to look at in terms of millions of people holding up to that profile. You can do that on Facebook. You can do the same stuff to find out the numbers. But end of the day, we're looking at a good chunk of people who are actually on LinkedIn portal. and my simple query like LinkedIn, email trainers in Bangalore, showed up my LinkedIn profile. Now, which means that the robot.txt file has been given clear instructions on LinkedIn saying that each profile can be crawled. Profile allowed to crawl by the user or the creator, whoever created it. They are free to actually crawl the page. I mean, they have given public or private. When you're creating an account, LinkedIn will ask you those questions saying, would you like to keep it private or would you like to keep it public? And the reason why people are here on LinkedIn is for networking. It could be various other reasons, but the primary reason is that networking is important, and you can't network with people with when you're inside the closed room. You got to be out and then being in public, and that's when you can network. Similarly, being in private is not going to be helpful for any profile, and hence all of them, at least 90% of them, have actually kept the profile open for generic public to find them or be found based on certain keywords, just like how I did mine. Thank you. Wow, good job, sir. Very nice. Implied permission type has already started to appear. And on the websites, you would notice when you have a website, you have a contact us form. Contact me, contact us, about us, quite a lot of other pages that companies create and leave the contact information on the web portal for people to find. And hence I'm already, like Greg said, we are already into the implied permission. Now with this implied permission, I can apply any string that I want on Google, and I am legally bound to use that information because it's found on Google. If Google doesn't have it and I'm still breaking the doors open, that means there's something really faulty about the way and the approach I'm taking. But in this case, I have not done that. I am just going ahead and playing by the books based on Google privacy policy allowed, and now we have access to it. Let's do a first bulk extraction, ladies and gentlemen. I hope the rules and regulations are clear now. We're not breaking into anybody's portal. We're not breaking into anybody's bank, which means hacking kind of profile is taken out. Yeah, we are out of that. We're not doing any of those kind now. What we're doing is genuinely knowing to find, doing an X-ray search on Google, which is commonly not found by the rest of the regular users who are using Google. Site. Remember, we're going to be having a conversation with a spider. On the third module, you had a conversation with a monkey, chimpanzee converted to monkey. Today, you'll have conversation with a spider. The language is different. So if you're thinking about a keyword and a keyword term, the spiders may not understand. Talking and getting your work done is something that you'll have to do rethinking in the back end, which is you think before you type anything there. Don't generally converse like you're talking to a human. The robots may not understand. So I'm going to have a quick chat with the bots here by saying animals are more intelligent than us. Looks like we have made them. But those Google results shows fewer results in response to complaints received from the MCA. Okay. Yeah, meaning there's why would anyone complain when they're already there saying you are free to contact me? Like, for example, my email says email me, contact me, and I leave my email address. If somebody approaches me and I say, sorry, I'm not interested, unsubscribe, and the person sends out an email again, that's when we're violating the rule. Somebody says, don't send me, and we're breaking the bank. We're breaking the rule. We're breaking that terms of agreement. But if somebody is okay to read that and respond back saying, hey, we are interested, give us a call and let us know what's the code. That's a cold email that we just sent. But unfortunately, there were quite a lot of people who are okay, who understand that thing on a public domain, we are likely to receive emails. And that's why we publish those emails on the website. Site colon will redirect the entire algorithm, the spiders in the backend, to focus on one domain. That's what I'm saying. Site, LinkedIn, .com. So now the bots are quickly now focusing on just one domain and saying, okay, what do you want from LinkedIn? I'm looking for marketing department. I repeat my words again. I'm looking for a marketeer, no, marketing department. And that's why I type in marketing. If I were to look at a profile of a marketeer, I might want to say marketeer. Here I'm just saying marketing department, pick up anyone under the marketing title, under the marketing department. And I want them from a particular location, please. Delhi. And I would like their contact information. So if I generally say contact information, the spider is definitely not going to understand what the contact information might be. It might just go search for the word called contact. Instead, I need to do my scrutiny in the backend to find out what type of email addresses people generally have when they're creating a LinkedIn profile on a public domain. What do you think? Would they have a public domain or would they have a private domain like their websites? Lead sourcing is my website, leadsourcing.in is my email ID. It's the public domain. Fantastic. Amongst all the public domains that you're aware of, which one stands out? You don't have to really do market research. Quote it out from your, there you go, Gmail, isn't it? If you were given a preference to choose from all the public domain, one would prefer Gmail. So I'm going to go ahead and say Gmail, buddy. Get the Gmail for me, please. Okay, gmail.com. Search. Without any questions asked, it runs through the profile, picks up marketing, Gmail ID, marketing Delhi Gmail ID, and it goes on. It finds about 10 emails for now, and I can go ahead and tell the bots saying I need more because I'm hungry for more. I know you have more space to portray more results. Could you get me more? Hold on a second. Get me more. Google, search, and now it says, sure, sir, I will. And now it's more than 10. More than 10. You also were taught in the third module that if you see data and you want email addresses out of the data, we told you to move to a particular portal. Any idea which portal? Thank you very much. Good job. Surf 7. Yahoo is to connect the domain. Yahoo gives you data which is cluttered data. Now we need to sort them out. So we need to come here and it says paste any digital dump you have. If it contains email addresses, I shall provide them on the output window. I'm going to paste this here and turn this to new line. Third module taught you how to do this. 87 email addresses on the first page of Google. And now I have 5 more pages to go. 7 more pages. So 6 more pages to go. Okay, so now what happened there? What happened there? Well, nothing. Let's go back and see what is being typed a little closely before you apply anything right now. Okay, I'm going to copy the entire string and I paste this right here. Blow this up a little so that you get a closer view on how this is to be typed. You can change the destination depending on whatever you want. Change the following. Okay, so this is my domain source. Can be changed. There is no definitive saying that it's only LinkedIn. You can change it, but again, robot.txt file rule will apply for pretty much all the domain searches. If it's a networking portal and if the web developers have decided to block that out from Google, well, we don't stand a chance to search for them. So this is the domain source. And how do you type them? All in one word: site colon LinkedIn or the domain name.com. And then there's a space here, one space, and then followed by a department or a title. It's a department, or you can search for a title. Under this, we can pick up, sir, try ma'am, give it a shot and see what comes in, and then I'll discuss that with you. Okay, so the department here, and then that's like one word, and I give it a space, and then I bring in the location. Location is not only Delhi, location can be any location that you're looking for. Alagu, start the Chennai search immediately. Domain is not restricted because not everybody is on Gmail. There are quite a lot of people who are actually using Yahoo and Hotmail and all the others. So change this domain type as well. And all of that is one word, and that there's a space in between. That's all we have. Now, what you need to do is to quickly run the search and get me some. Thank you very much. Get me the number like how Brijesh did. We will expand the number. I initially had very little amount, and then I had to search that and ask Google to give me more, and that's when it gave me more. For now, I think you need to practice the string. I'll show you how to get more in 5 minutes from now. Allow yourself to go ahead and manipulate the string the way you want it, specific to your audiences, and then we go back and see how we can increase the number of results. Site facebook.com bcom Delhi. No emails will come in because you haven't typed the domain. That's what I want you to practice. Good one. The nokri.com. Let's see anyone coming with the nokri.com or any other portal. If number of result is your motivation, stop there and come on the screen, please. Come with me. If number of results is restricting you or not giving you motivation to type the next string, please open up Google, www.google.com. Please type that there and come to the home page of Google. Come to the home page of Google. We just tried it. Interesting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you are also free to use that on US soil. Don't use that on Canadian soil. Canada, only explicit. US, implicit. Okay, good. Now, once you're on Google homepage, I would like you to look on the right hand bottom corner and click the button which says setting. Click the search settings. By default, you would notice that the string, which is like the scale here, is noted to keep or display just 10. Now we need more than 10, so we need to have access to the slider, move the slider from 10 to 100. And once we do that, we see 100 results. Now we don't get access to it. As you could see, I can't really access that slider unless and until I click this button which says never show instant results. So activate the button, and then you're now given access to the slider. Move the slider from 10 to 100. Scroll down. Keep an eye on the slider. Very sensitive, it might move back to the 10. 100. Click the button save. Google will confirm saying that it is saved your preferences. Confirm that. And now type your string again. How did you arrive at this page? Home page of Google. Home page of Google. It won't be available on the just your browser when you open up. That's just a plugin. So type in www.google.com, and then towards your right hand bottom corner you see settings. Click on search settings and you will see the same screen that I saw earlier. Come on, do that and give me the fresh numbers, please. Thank you. Got it. Fantastic. Oh, you found the settings, I mean. Okay. Get me numbers, sir. I need 100 plus number email IDs that you captured. Thank you, sir. LinkedIn.com, personal trainer. Okay, Bhopal. Okay, now there's a little more things that you need to understand in terms of this particular string alone, right? When you're formulating a string, I want you to think on how a person must have created a profile, because it's all about the person who has created the profile. It's got nothing to do with the spider or the way you're communicating. Personal trainer, all in one word without a space? Probably not. I don't think anyone would have created a profile like that. And Some people may have chosen it to be two different words, personal and the trainer, separately. Now try both the combination to see which one works well. The first half looks clean, the middle part needs a little change, second half is good. No, mistake is good too, sir. Good to have, sir. It's a nice to have thing. It's a friend of yours. Once you make a mistake, you learn and move further, move forward. Don't make a mistake at your desk. You're free to make a mistake here with me. Uh, Report from the lab, please. Alagu. Report from US. Surf 7. Where do we go? Surf 7. Where do we go? Oh, go to Google, type in Surf 7, pick up the first link. 67. Good shot. Good shot. 87. That's confirming from the lab here. Okay, what were you looking for, sir? What were you looking for? Greg, don't hesitate to ask. There you go. Fantastic, sir. One word of caution. One word of caution. You're looking for profiles, which is doctor's profile. Doctor's profile. One single profile of a single doctor. But no one creates a doctor's profile. So it's one single individual. I am a doctor. I have a LinkedIn profile. So if you pull this out and search for it, I'm sure you'll find a little more relevant searches that is coming out. Try that, sir. Thank you very much. 90. Well done, Priyanka. Got that, but where is the window you showed us? Ma'am, Google, surf 7. First one, click, brings up this. If you had, click the right domain. I send the link again for you so that it's easy. Site LinkedIn Dr. Pondicherry. Fantastic, sir. Now see, it will bring up a keyword which is within a profile and hunts the doctor alone. Boski, don't hesitate to ask me questions. Akriti, the same applies to you as well, and pretty much everyone here. Ma'am, Dhanashri, don't hesitate to ask questions. Gunjan, of course. Mahudas, uh, sir, I understand 3-4 languages. You're free to communicate in any language. If typing is a problem, please go ahead and ask me in any languages. Don't ask me anything in Malayalam. That's where I fail. Thank you, sir. Mamta, let me know the number. I have selected 20, so I found 14. Oh, good, sir. Why 20, sir? I mean, increase that to 100. If you get excess of emails, pass it to us. Minus 50. Okay, good one, Greg. Who are you looking for? 76. When change the handle from Gmail to Yahoo. Wow, cool. Good one. Massage therapist. Fantastic. Wow, shine on. Database is never a problem. Has never been a problem when you have Google around. I selected 100, but it still says 10. No, ma'am, that means it has moved back to 10. It has moved back to 10. Do you want me to come to your computer? Rosalina, guess I did some mistake. If you want me to come to your computer, just give me a buzz. Meaning, just say yes and I would jump into your computer now. Okay, I'm sending you a request. Accept the request. I can't just jump in like that. I will have to send you a request and GoDaddy, what is this called? The go to meeting guy will contact you and he will say, would you agree that to give permission to see your computer? Once you say yes, we come in. Amandeep 70, fantastic. Where's Ankit? Ankit, I haven't heard from you, or maybe I slipped reading yours. No, I think you're still searching. Okay, I'm doing it. I know. Boski, I'm still waiting for you. Ma'am Dhanashri, I'm still waiting for you. Thank you. Change Gmail to Yahoo 65 to 70. Right, fantastic. Good job. Sales Delhi, Gmail, selected 100, surf 7, 52 extracted. God bless. Anshul, super. I could extract a total of 200. You cannot do that. Oh, okay. Yeah. From 3 pages, yes. But on the first page, you may not, because Google just restricts it to 100. The maximum I've seen is 101 in case if there's a duplicate email ID. Mamta, job well done. Writer in Mumbai, 94 email addresses on the first page of Google. Imagine if you were to scroll to 6 pages, and all of those are prime prospects for you because you have filtered them, you have segmented them. Can you see my screen? Yes, ma'am, I can. Please click on Google, ma'am. Any tab that you have, move to one of those tabs and say Google. Click on a tab, like browse your computer. There you go. Fantastic. Please type www.google.com. Oh, I think you may have done it right. You're looking at Oman and Middle East database. I don't see a lot of people active there. Type Google, ma'am. I see very few people actually active on LinkedIn from the Middle East side. That could be one reason. Okay, come on. Anyone who couldn't get the 100 right, we are actually doing it on Rosalina's computer. I missed the portal name. Surf 7. Surf 7. Type that number, I mean that word. Okay, fantastic. Ma'am, on the right hand bottom corner, settings, yeah? Correct, ma'am, you're right. Click on that once. You get search settings. Click the search settings. I think you clicked on it, but for us, the screen is not visible. Never show instant results. Click that radio button. Never show instant results. The radio button on the top. Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. Now the slider. 200. Fantastic. Scroll down. No, it moved to 50. Yeah, cool. Brijesh, job well done. And click the save button, ma'am. You'll find something called as saved settings. Yeah, save. Correct. Preferences are saved. Now run a search, please. On the same window, run a search. Oh, okay. Wow. You're clever. But that's not practicing. It doesn't calculate in the 10,000 hours of practice. Remember, becoming an expert and 10,000 hours of practice? Cutting and pasting is not practicing. Okay. So I want to try and refrain smiling, but it just naturally comes out. I'm sorry if it's not appropriate for some. I'm sorry. It's just involuntary for me to actually smile out. Thank you. Right, ma'am. Select all. Control A and Control C. Control A, Control C. Yeah, yeah. You already have the tab open. Fantastic. That string wouldn't really get anything correct. Okay, cool. New line. Congratulations. Okay, that's exactly how you modify. Can you ask for other email addresses other than Gmail? Yes, sir, you can. That's what Priyanka has been sending you post after post, and Ankit also did the same. You can change this from Gmail to Yahoo, sir, if that's what you meant. Anytime, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so just say Yahoo, sir, and I think Yahoo will show up. Okay, fantastic. Ma'am, yes, it is possible. Yahoo, just search for Yahoo. Let's say you have certain service providers like AT&T. AT&T, I think there's a domain, att.com, I think. Is it? AT&T is att.com. I'm not really sure. Just bear with me for a moment. I'll get you some domains here from the US. Go to Google. First page, top 25. Okay. All right. Tomorrow I'm going to harvest for business. Yes, ma'am. Wish you all the luck. Now here I'm looking at AT&T email ID. They have a very different domain, att.com. So if you're looking at AT&T users, and if you think that those people have actually created their account using this, Brenda, please go ahead and use this, ma'am. att.com. And I'm looking for people in New York. Some people actually call it together. Some people actually give it a space. There's a state. There's a city as well. Try and differentiate those. There you go. And I have a few AT&T, att.com. And likewise, I think Bell South could be one more. You can try those combinations, but I see very fewer numbers, very fewer numbers on att.com. So I would still stick to Gmail and Hotmail. Hotmail is very common in the US. I see a lot of users actually having Hotmail. Try the Hotmail. We're not looking for marketeers, aren't we? We're looking for therapists. Yeah, therapist in New York. This is like affiliate marketing. So if you're really connecting with all of these healthcare centers and give out a brochure and say if you refer customers, you make a 20% of that, and now send that emails out to all of these people and see how many people are on board. I just search for New York therapist. Don't say search for US. That'll be too very broad, like we searching in India. If you break it down to city, the counts will be more. 76 on the first page of Google, and then I can go state wise or city wise, and then alter this particular location here and go ahead. Brenda confirm. Oh, okay. Greg confirm. LinkedIn.com analyst Mumbai. Fantastic. Great. Everybody getting a hang of it? Where's Drew? Drew, how are you doing? Did we feed you as technical? Okay, good. Right. These extracted email addresses can be emailed to our own addresses. These extracted addresses can be mailed to our own address. Okay, now, okay, ma'am, a few things, okay? The reason why we're gathering people, email address, is to sell to them. We have a service to offer. My company, this is buyer, seller, buyer. This is buyer. You're the seller, right? You have something. Now we are trying to find out who is a probable buyer. Now some people have therapist as a buyer. Okay, those are the people who can buy our service, my service especially, something like that. Then I'm looking at marketing guys who might need some solution like services, or it could be they're outsourcing something. I can reach out to a marketing department people. Someone was looking for analyst. I think it was Brijesh was looking for analyst, so I can quickly search for analyst. These are my buyers. Now when my company is doing this harvesting of all these people, I have their email contacts now. Now, my work is to go ahead and write an email about my service to these people who are my buyers, and they become my customers. Are you with me? Not all of them are going to convert, but over a period of time, when they get to know you're announcing yourself right now, that means they're going to come back and buy. I meant once addresses have been extracted, where do I save them? Oh, in a notepad. In a notepad. First, gather all of them in a notepad. Once you're complete with the amount of data you have, then you can take it to MailChimp or any other platform you want. First is to collect all of them, gather them into your hard drive and keep it there. You can copy those email addresses and mail it also. That will be very hard for you to keep a close watch on what is happening. So let's say I open up an Excel file. I open up an Excel file and I do the following. I have 76 on my first page of Google. So I copy these addresses. I go to my Excel file and paste them. Now I need to go to the 76th column, and now the next email addresses will come. 77th column, I go to Google again, and now I pick up the second list of search results. I go to second page, copy everything, serve 7, paste, extract 65 of them. I move to the Excel file and paste them now. So the total right now is 141. I go to the third page of Google and do the same step. Once my Excel file is ready, I can convert that into a CSV file and then take one single file into MailChimp. But if I mail it to myself, compilation will be another 2-3 hours. Save time. Compilation will take another 2-3 hours. Save time. Yeah, here we go. 191. I click the save button and now it will ask me saying where would you like to store it. Store it on a specific location. Instead of an Excel file, choose a CSV file and give it a place where you're storing it. Give me a heads up if you understood this. Once you gather enough, save the file, take the file onto MailChimp. Job done. It's a simple process, but the way you collecting and gathering info is also very important. I normally do it on a WordPad or a Notepad. Excel is a little cumbersome for me, but for you it might be very easy. So choose your preferred application and get that job done. Okay, now let's go. For me, Excel is the best. Me too. When it's sorting out, it depends again. Job to job, it varies. Okay, let's move on and try and find out what else can be done with this. Are there any other portals that we can do bulk extraction? The answer is yes, of course. This is just LinkedIn. Now let's do something on Google Plus. Site. The architecture is very important. This is like imagine your house, right? And it has a kitchen. It has a hall, drawing room, hall, a bedroom, and it goes on, right? It's broken down into compartments. Similarly, when a site is constructed, people break that down into compartments. Service page, it will go into uploads. Images will be stored in a different location. There are compartments where they store the files in. Similarly, Google Plus works from plus.google.com. That's how they chose to what do you call, compile the data and store the data. Plus.google.com. I'm looking for people. I think we just go ahead and search for marketeers, or should we search for something else? Let's help the doctor. Doctor. We're looking for doctor. Chennai this time. No, he said Pondicherry. Pondicherry. I hope I called it out right. Now I'm looking for Gmail accounts, of course, because it's Gmail to Gmail. Google Plus. Search. Now it says there's a few doctors here. Few doctors. Control C, Control V. Same exercise. Just that the source is different now. The source is, instead of LinkedIn, we have Google Plus. A few more domains gathered in terms of the doctors. I can do the same stuff again, which is change them. Since it's new, I'm going to send this out so that you can store it. Can we do it in India instead of a city? So if you do it as in India, if you just say instead of Pondicherry, you say India, who's getting blessed? Google is getting blessed. It will show very less amount of data because it can now pick and choose from how many states? 26? 26 different states. Yeah. But if you break it down and say, no, 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 you don't do that, Google, get me only Bangalore. Now you're giving a tough time to all the robots there, saying gather the data from Bangalore and each city wise, and that is a lot more amount of data, which is the quantum of data that you pick up is high compared to India as a whole, which is a country wise. You might end up in just five or seven searches, and then you gather 700 emails. Job gets done. But if you go city wise, I think every city will be another 7 pages each. Okay, cool. Anybody, any questions? I have two. Shoot, sir. Shoot the question out, sir. In the meantime, I'm going to sip a little water. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. Waiting for the question to arrive. When I search for the query, okay, so there's a second half coming. About 228,000, sometimes it's million, and all the others will come up. According to the robot, the calculator works like that, which is the spider calculates every character that is found in your string. So the results are based on the number of matches that it found, and has got nothing to do with your emails that you're searching for. And Google also is aware that a lot of people who are searching for information do not crawl more than 5 pages. In a 10-page scenario, this is 100-page scenario. In a 10-page scenario, people do not crawl over and above 5 pages. Hence, it is actually restricting it to 6 pages on 100 search. Now break that 600 results divided by 10, and you will see the number of results that shows up to the common public. You getting the logic, Brijesh? That's why you have only 6 pages. We can't enhance this. We can't increase this. So it actually calculating the characters which is displayed, and the answer is yes. And it also knows the science behind. If somebody starts, let's say all humans today start hitting more than 10 100 pages to find an answer, then Google will go back and give us more, and relevancy will take a beat. According to Google, they want to simplify it. If you type a keyword in, they want to really get there in your mind and identify what you're searching for. If you say pizza, it says, are you looking for a picture of pizza? Are you looking to buy a pizza? Would you like to dine at a pizza corner? Where would you like to go? That's the artificial intelligence that they're working on, and hence the number of result pages are reduced compared to quantum amount of data that is shown out there. Cool. Now let's see some more. Can it include redundant data, like for example jobs, like for example a particular city name? You can go ahead and eliminate all of that. Ankit, this is how you do this. So let's say when I look for data, linkedin.com, and I'm looking for HR, and I'm looking for managers here. Managers I want, but I can't really type that as a plural there. I look for them in Gmail. I can change the order, no problem whatsoever. It's not like it has to be location first and then the domain, not necessarily. Okay, so I'm looking for HR managers and I want to get their Gmail accounts who are in Delhi. I did that. I got a few. What I also want to do is to eliminate the page which is actually having a job offer. If there is a job offer, I would like to eliminate that job offer somewhere here. So I go into the end of the string and I say minus, which is eliminate job, or, which is I'm typing in or. Shakespeare would not work here. Shakespeare's English is not going to be used here, or the interpretation of or. Or means in common English this or that. Here, according to the spider, it's this and jobs. Eliminate. That's minus. Now it quickly removes all the jobs out of that and then only shows you those alerts which is actually relevant to HR department or HR managers. You with me? That's exactly how you play with this. Okay, now in case there would be another query. I don't want to go specifically Gmail. I want to get any ID that the company has used. For example, let's say I'm looking for therapist. A therapist might have had their own domain and not an AT&T domain or Bell South or any other domain that they have. But I want to find out whatever is there. This is how you typed in site linkedin.com. I'm looking for therapists. I'm looking for people in California. That's where the money is. I'm also looking for any domain that they might have used. Email, wildcard. An asterisk sign is called a wildcard. I am not sure what comes after email. I'm not sure. It could be com.com, a separator. It could be .net, a separator again. It could be .org, an organization. These are extensions of the domain on how an email ID can be created. Or it could be .us. Whichever it is, show me whatever they've used. Now, when you run that search, it quickly brings up and says immediate medical test or immediate medical.net. That's one registrant, therapist. Here's staffing somebody. Here's another, and it goes on. This is like whatever they have used will show up on the screen. So let's pick this up and type this in. Copy, paste, and then try and modify that the way you want it. It will only display those specific people who have used their corporate domains. If they have used a Gmail, it would just say Gmail. But wouldn't that exclude private URLs? It is including the private URLs. It will search for both private and public. This is a generic result. Anyone with a gmail.com show up. Anyone with a hotmail.net show up. Anyone with a website that they own, which is of a .org, show up. I'm literally generally searching for something, it's not very specific. But if I were to search for a specific company, then I just type in the domain name and I find out the domain. There can be a few more modifications that can be worked around here. Come with me. So thanks a lot. I'm honored to have you as. Thank you, Ankit. I appreciate that. I'm honored to actually have met all of you. Okay, LinkedIn.com, right? We're looking for LinkedIn.com, and I want people who are currently working in a particular location. Current, New Delhi. Now I want all of their Gmail accounts, please. This could be just a generic marketing that I'm trying to do, but I want anyone who's working in current. So it quickly says, sorry, I couldn't really understand what is current here. Okay, got it. Now use the asterisk and see if that works out. No, it says, sorry, I really did not understand what is current. Current may not be the word, it might be present. Try the word and see present. And now it says, yeah, from 2010 to present, he's in New Delhi. Gmail account. Present, New Delhi. But very few results coming out for New Delhi. Let's try Delhi alone. It again is a very little amount of data, but it definitely is gathering me based on the present. Here's your another string. Oh yeah, this is a toy that you can actually play along. Like in, just go ahead and be as creative as you could. When it throws up an error, go and modify the search string a little, and that's how we learned. There is no course that we picked up. Nobody's teaching you how to use Google, so we will have to really work around. And for all you know, you might find better strings than us or construct better strings than us. It is just it's just a practice. The more you work around it, the better you get. Now, the same site, LinkedIn.com, I'm looking at all people working in IBM. So the company is IBM, and I'm looking at their marketing department in IBM, and I'm looking at a location called Bangalore in IBM, and I want the Gmail accounts, please. Now it quickly runs in and only picks up people working inside IBM or they have left IBM in the past, and it picks up their Gmail account, which is another way of collecting data based on company alone. So competition, let's say you're hiring or you have a requirement for a candidate, and you know they are all found in IBM. Go ahead, type in IBM, type in Infosys, type in various other companies, Oracle, and pick up all those talent from there. Make an offer. For all you know, if they like it, they come back and join you. So that's another string. Similar to site, we can also use blogs. Absolutely, sir. There is no restrictions on what you can use here. Restriction is only based on the robot.txt file. That's what you should be concerned with, nothing else. Okay, now there's one more very important place where CEOs are around. That's your Twitter account. Let's see the Twitter, please. Everybody following? Everybody okay? Give me a shout. Thank you so much. Okay, please show deduction once again. I would do that. Anshul, in a minute from now. Okay, deduction is already there, so which means minus Oracle. I want IBM. I don't need anyone from Oracle. So minus, which is eliminate Oracle, is what I've typed. That's it. Elimination is minus. If I have another word, minus Neil. I don't want anyone with a person name called Neil. So that's minus Neil. Or is and in Spider's communication dictionary. Okay, good. So that's one thing. And now let's go to the Twitter. Anshul, give me a heads up. Oh, okay. Sorry. I think this is the second time we're getting this. Hold on. Let's go have this corrected. Without the apostrophes? Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Without the apostrophes. I think we already had this question. You've been very kind here, Rosalina. Thank you so much. I really skipped this question. I forgot to come back on this. Thank you. If I have a query, it query. If I were to write a query and the company is in South Africa, what sources I use? Can't use LinkedIn though. It might not get in as enough of data. Right. Perfect. That needs a little more research then. If it's a specific South Africa, I need to do a little research about South Africa, networking portals or networking websites, something like that. Okay, network platforms, something there. I picked this up. African Business Network. Okay, ABN. All right, this seems to be like a community portal, I guess, but they are hosting service providers. Okay, so that domain doesn't exist. ABM, ABN, browse current issues. This is just a journalist. I don't see any networking happening here. I don't see any subscribers. So we need to research on the relevant community page. Absolutely, ma'am. Because I don't have any ready-made answers for this. Because hold on, we might have. Oh no, this is again categories, and they're just showing you articles related to that particular industry. Okay, so it's not a networking portal. Once you get a networking portal, maybe today if you research from your own IP there, from the South African IP, try and get us a domain, and we'll try and formulate the string on Thursday with you. You come a little early. Come at about 7:30. We'll sit together and formulate some strings. What do you think? Deal? If it's a deal, then we will wait. Sure, we'll do. Fantastic, ma'am. Little research from your own perspective, which is your own IP. It definitely will be a local search engine for you. You will find more results. Okay, Twitter it is. Use tunnelware. Okay. All right. So let's see tunnelware. First is to find out what is the architecture they have. So generally type in tunnelware and find out what they're doing. VPN service. Oh no, this is a VPN service. It's not like a networking portal. She's already in South Africa, I think, isn't it? Rosalina is in. No. Oh, okay. Oh, then you'll have to depend on some of those. I'm in Delhi. Okay. Okay, good. The tunnel bear is a VPN. Yes, ma'am. If you're in Delhi, then VPN is required. I thought it'll be a local search for you. Twitter account, come. Twitter.com. Okay, now these guys store the entire database very differently. So they store this in tweets and replies. I'm looking for CEO, Bangalore, Gmail accounts, please. Generally, first find out what is the CEO's Twitter handle. I'll tell you how to work around this itself, and then we can see the rest. For example, I'm looking for Twitter account. These are all the CEOs. At least that's what they say. I've said in the profile. Pick up all of this, and here's a common thing that happens with all the Twitter account holders. Pick up this particular Twitter handle. You pick the Twitter handle here, and take a look at what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to go shift this particular at sign from the front of it and move that towards the back and say gmail.com and pick this up to find out if it's a valid email ID. Open another browser, just type that email address in and see who it is leading up to. Founder, CEO, fantastic. Is that the same person we found? I think it's the same one. So it's a working email ID because it's leading us to the LinkedIn profile of this gentleman. And it's also showing up on the Twitter handle right here. In order to validate and get a confirmation on this, go to another email tester who does one-on-one testing of emails, paste that email ID and run a check. Oh, there you go. You bet it was right. The domain is right and everything else is fine. The local part, which is this is the domain part and this is the local part. The local part could not be verified because the firewall is preventing it. But this is a working email ID. Firewalls are preventing it, but this is a working email ID to that particular CEO. Okay, now that's one way to look at Twitter and really gather good amount of data rather than just looking at the Gmail account. Okay, and by the way, if you were like 19 of you, all of you who actually are on Twitter, don't you think you have connected that to a Gmail account? Isn't that the same logic? 90% of them will agree saying yes. There you go. Yeah, that's the 10%. Drew will obviously be different because he comes in with the technical background. Look at the normal generic public. There you go. That's the 90% I was talking about. So you can apply that same principle and it's never going to change. So pick up the Twitter handle, convert that to a Gmail user. And also beware that if it's a very old gentleman, let's say 60 and above, 60 and above, the person would never, I mean, also looking at the profile, if the person is technologically adapting to new technology, he would change that to a Gmail account. But if he's a person who never changes the old stuff, like he still writes the books, he writes in books or keeps his notes using a book and not the digital interfaces, he would use a Yahoo or a Hotmail account because they love to be loyal to the old email address that they had. Like for me, yeah, I'm not 60 yet, but still, I don't want to lose out that account that I have, which is 2 MB space we had in the beginning, 1947, something like that. Okay, cool. So that's the Twitter account. Your time is up actually, and there's a few more things that if you really have time, we can give out. But maybe when you come in early on Thursday, we can cover that piece as well. Thank you very much, all of you. I hope it was fruitful. Data is all over the place. You turn left, right, center, everywhere data is around. We need to know how to use that. And that's why we had to give you 3 modules first, train you on how to use the data and look at all of those informations on how to use it on an email service provider. And then finally, lead sourcing came by. Okay, keep your fingers crossed. When you come back on Thursday, we will go one-on-one hunting. We'll go one-on-one hunting. So we can pick up Ankit and Ankit refers to a company. We can find his email address. Yeah, anybody's email address. Thank you very much. Good night for now. And if you have a question, please stay back. Please stay back. Thank you. Bye for now. Danashri, thank you very much. And you know why. So, thank you very much for everything. Bye for now. As you okay, thank you so much, Kunjan. Okay, so here I think I have a question. Rosalina, good night. Do a little research and come in. I will also do mine. We both get prepared on the South American databases. Good night, Mamta. Thank you very much. Okay, site LinkedIn, present. No, slight changes. See, the present is, you've written it right. Okay, I'm going to modify your own string here. The showing, don't worry about this. Showing will be plenty of things. Okay, site linkedin.com, perfectly written, present, company name, Oracle. Presently, the person is working in Oracle, is in New Delhi, or it has to be presently somewhere, or presently in Delhi, or location Delhi. So you can say, instead of present, if you're looking for location, you say location Delhi, and you pull this guy out. But if he's working at a place, it must be some place he's referring to, right? Okay, try this, please. You should be fine. Sir, you don't have any question? Greg, where's Brenda? Okay, no, he jumped out. Okay, right. Anyway, if you're listening to the recording, just know if you have a question, come back early next week. Bye bye. Sorry, Thursday. Until any task for last session? No, not at all. There's only one. Send the email out. Now, if you have no data, you don't want to use your Facebook account, you know what to do. Use your fourth module, pick up some databases of your relevant audiences, start rolling out the campaign. Yeah, that's how you can use that particular, the fourth module one. Koski, thank you very much and good night. You've been very quiet. I hope you're learning. Uh, Amandeep, confirm. You jumped out. Okay, no, you're still here. All right, I hope so too. Okay. Sir, is there any way to extract mobile numbers also? No, ma'am. Most of them have really said no. Most of them who create their LinkedIn profile, the contact information, email address is fine, but generally nobody fills up that particular field on mobile phone numbers. And hence, no. Personal mobile numbers. Yeah, that's a challenge. But if there is a directory where you can see mobile numbers, okay, like for example, who's your audience, ma'am? Who are you looking for? Okay, the to buy apartment. We don't know. We can't really search for. But who are the ones who actually are looking to buy an apartment? Anywhere around this particular pyramid. So if I were to really get this pyramid out, now I need this on selling up the apartment, like in apartments. Who's the likely buyer? So this is top profiles here, middle level profiles. I mean the titles like team leader, manager, blah blah blah. This is lower, middle. Okay, let's say bottom. Okay, real estate customers. Absolutely, I'm looking at a real estate customer. Where would my customers be? I mean, what's the property size? The property could be 3 bedroom flat for two BHK, 3 BHK, and the property value again. Let's say 5,000 per square feet. Is 5,000 per square feet. Okay. Now, if this is what is the offer, now you need to know who are the guys who would likely to buy. Definitely not the bottom of the pyramid, not the web developers, not the title based on a certain title. These guys are definitely not going to look at some properties like this. Maybe mid-level range. So anyone with that particular title here around the mid-level range likely to sell. And for investment sake, we're looking at the top level titles as well. So keeping that in mind, I'm looking for anyone who's a manager level and above. I'm looking at or, which is and, chief something. We don't know. It can be a chief executive officer. It can be anybody with the chief. I'm looking at the Gmail account, please. Run a random search on Google, and I'm sure you will find quite a lot of people there. You can start picking up and gathering those info. You can also go ahead and say site LinkedIn, search. Picks up LinkedIn and searches for chief marketing officer, manager, manager, and it goes on. So these are the primary targets based on my assessment in terms of where their budgets are, what type of salary they would be drawing, and will they be looking for a property. Now, if you were to really use LinkedIn, I think this is the logic that you may want to apply. Pick up and gather pretty much all the titles. If you don't know where to find the titles, come with me. There's a web portal. Ankit is here. Okay, good. Recruit them. Okay, so the recruit them is now gone to be EM. Recruit them. Okay, but you remember that as recruit them. Take that thing out and now hit the enter button. There, LinkedIn X-ray result. Pick up this and explore the titles here. So when you place your mouse here and start typing, let's say chief, and it quickly says, hey, are you looking for chief, VP, director, officer, blah, blah, blah. You can pick up those titles, copy and paste. If you're looking for managers, it will quickly say manager or managing director, vice president, director, chief, and plenty of other titles. If you're looking at operators, operator of this machine, it goes on. If you're looking at skill based, try and search for a skill base. That I think they don't give you a list, but you'll have to search for a particular skill. Let's say Java developers. No, developers will be there on top. Include location or keyword. I'm looking for Java. Here I'm looking for developer, engineer, programmer. Okay, search. Find them on LinkedIn. It quickly creates the string for you, and you can click on open on Google, and now it has picked up all the Java developers. What you don't have here is the email ID. You just go to the end of the string and type in @gmail.com. If everything goes well, it should display the email addresses right there. There you go. End of the string, just say gmail.com. Now you're looking at Java developers and the Gmail accounts. I hope it helped. I was unable to export Facebook contacts from. Please help me out. I'm sending you the password. No, I won't be able to do this on my computer. You'll have to do it on yours. Amandeep, I can come to your computer and show you how to do it. Can I? Give me a yes. Give me a no. Yeah, I've sent you a request. Accept it as quickly as possible. Thursday we will begin the day with a scraper gathering tool for free, and then we go one-on-one hunting. Okay, there you go. Please open up Yahoo. Yeah. All right. Do the same stuff that you were trying to do, Amandeep. You already have contacts, Amandeep. 490 contacts. Click the Facebook one. Yeah. 427 belong to Facebook. What is missing? Oh, nah, this is not. It's not working, sir. This is I forgot. Everything is working. Where you're clicking and wherever you're right now is wrong. That's not going to help you at all. For which you should do is to go back to the third module and pick up the video recording, isn't it? Ideally, that's what you should do. Pick up the video recording, see the process and how we adopted, and then you will get a hands-on experience saying how to do it. Okay, cool. But let's say if we don't have any questions coming by, Stay here. If you don't have any questions, I will answer that. How do we check that once the mailer has been done, how many mails went to promotional folder or inbox? No tracking on a generic on a on a generic email service provider. Now, why do I say generic? Most often, the expected outcome from a email service provider is to track the opens, clicks, bounces, unsubs, unsubscribers. Who else? Unsubscribers, hard bounces, soft bounces, clicks. That's it. Forwards, in case if you are adding another link call forward to a friend, blah blah blah, can be tracked. Now, if you want to go one step beyond this and find out did it reach the inbox, yes or no, promotion, yes or no, then you need an advanced player who can sit on your email service provider and work as a plugin for you, like in bridging the gap between where you are right now and to where you want to get. That bridging the gap, there are quite a lot of service providers who are currently doing it, but at a very expensive route, very expensive tool. Okay, so this is the gap between opens to inbox placement, or is it promotional placement? I want to know. That plugin can come in from plugin or additional services. There are some companies. Come here with me. 250 and OK, I think. Yeah, 250 OK. Deliverability, analytics, and all the other guys, right? Okay, so what our solution is for email marketer, we look at delivery operations. We try to get inside the 100 DSP providers and ISP providers. We actually work with them parallelly to find out what's happening. This is the service provider that provides you with the additional offer of analytics, which doesn't stop at just the opens and clicks, but it actually goes one step beyond, which is inbox tracking. There's another service provider, return path. Return path, deliverability, we know emails. Yeah, fantastic individuals. See, as you could see, placement, look at the report. um, Inbox placement, DMARC and DKIM setup that was said yes and no, how many blacklisted, campaign performance, what happened. Pretty much everything can be tracked from them because they have the tool to send and also analyze in the backend. But the costing is way too expensive. For example, a list of let's say 3,000 email IDs would cost you anywhere around $5,000 to $10,000 to track such emails, which is a subscribed list of 5,000 odd people, 5,000 email IDs. Let's keep it minimal, 3,000 odd email IDs, dollars, 5K to 10. This is per month. This is per month. And if you keep changing the list too often, then there is additional charges. Additional charges, or TOC, terms of condition, will say we would not work with such people. We want to see if you have a subscribed database and we can readily work with that type of data and not a generic random data that you're picking up. Give me a heads up if that is clear. Oh, okay. So you didn't see that piece? Screen. Okay. See this? ESP providers opens, clicks, bounces, unsubscribes. That's what basically they track, and the forwards. So there is a gap between opens and inbox placement to promotional placement. The gap. Now, who can replace the gap is the service providers like 250 OK. Go to Google and type in 250 OK. 250 OK. Email analytics and deliverability. Return Path is another service provider. Return Path. These are the guys who can bridge the gap. But when we're saying bridging the gap, it comes with an expense as well. 3,000 odd email IDs that you're going to bring in. If you want to track them, anywhere between 5K to 10K is what you'll have to shell out to bridge this particular gap. If you're not okay with that, this is the basic available systems right now, pretty much on all the ESP service providers. Heads up. Okay, so I think we still have 12 minutes. Any other questions that I have not attended to because I'm a human? If there is one, do let me know. Okay, no? All right, cool. So let's go. Thank you, Ankit. Uh, is Amandeep around? Amandeep, heads up. Okay, cool. Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to go and make you a presenter again. Amandeep, sorry, I had to quickly retrieve that access. Okay, fantastic. Now, please open up Gmail account. Please log on to your Gmail, which is right there on the first tab. Yeah, that's the one. Click on the Gmail one. Fantastic. Fantastic. Good. Now, you see around the Gmail, there's a drop down menu. A drop down menu. Thank you so much. Yeah, contacts. I like the way you're asking questions, by moving the mouse. Wow. Who said we have to be communicating? Non-verbal communication still works. Okay, fantastic. Now click the more button, please. Left hand side. More button. More. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the one. You don't get. Okay. Huh. Import, please. Import. Right. Yahoo account. Remember, Yahoo is where Facebook profiles are, and that's why we are importing that onto Gmail, so that it's easy for us to export them. I agree. I mean, you agree. Yes, you're migrating Yahoo into Google, like in Gmail. If you're okay with the terms, agree. There you go. Thank you. Please sip your coffee while we are importing. Oh, there you go. It's done the job. Good. Now click on the export, please. On the left hand side, instead of import now, click on export. It's all there, sir. It's all there. Don't worry. 463 contacts have been imported. Go to the old version. Old version. I mean, Google likes the old version, so you'll have to export that through the old version only. Yeah. Loading. There you go. Click the more button, please. More button on the top. More on the top. On the, yeah. Export. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now instead of choosing all the contacts, the drop down menu, choose the today's date one. 21/3 imported. Next one. Uh, yeah. So that's 463 only we want. So click the export button, please. That's it, sir. Excel file will come, or CSV file comes in. You have all your Facebook contacts there. This first name, family name, blah blah blah. Whichever field is not relevant, take them out, sir. Take out delete all the fields. You just need email addresses and phone number. I mean, sorry, the first name. Don't ask me how to do this, isn't it? You're saying how to do this, correct? Say yes. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. We have 7 minutes. It all depends again on how fast you are, right? Click the button on the top, which is next to the A button. Do you see an arrow kind? No, I got it. Oh, okay. Okay. How can you show me? How would you sort this out? Because we're learning now. Okay. Maybe there's a shortcut. I've forgotten it, but I will go back and see this tonight. It's a good choice. Sir, why don't you just click the top arrow button? Next to A, there's an arrow kind of button there. Oh. Okay. Next to A column, towards your left. A, you're on B now. B column is highlighted, correct? A column. See if it is actually. Just double click on it once. Okay, so it's not separated. Click the next arrow. Click the next arrow towards your left side of A. There's an arrow there on the top next to a left. Yeah, click that button. Yeah, that's it. Click once. Oh, yes, thank you. Fantastic. Click the data, please, on top now. On the menu, click on data. Okay, cool. Hold on. With this Windows operating system is different. Sort the data. Text to column. Text to column. Next to the filter, text to column. You see the arrow there? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so you'll have to convert that into one column and then we can do that. Okay, no problem. Cancel this, sir. Select just the A column then. Select the A column, sir. Select just one column A. Yeah, fantastic. Click on text column. Yes. Now let's see what's the error. No error. All right. Delimit is fine. Click next. Okay. Use the comma, please, instead of a tab. Uncheck the tab and click the comma. Uncheck the tab. Uncheck the tab. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and finish it. I think you'll have multiple columns now. Okay, there you go. Now delete all the junk and keep only the first name and email ID. Okay, do this after your dinner because you might need a little more energy to get that done. Okay, good night, Brajesh, and thank you very much. Maudas, you still here? Okay, good night, everybody. See you again on Thursday. Bye bye. Good night, sir. Good night. Anytime, sir.